Hello everyone, how's it going? I hope you're doing really well. My name is Diane and this is Madam Butterfly Tarot, and this is for Thursday the 12th of October, but you know it is a timeless reading, so whenever you find it. So pile number 1 is the Howlite, pile number 2 is the orange calcite, which is really good for your sacral chakra. And pile number 3 is the pyrite, which is good for your solar plexus chakra and for attracting abundance, which are connected. And this one here, the Howlite, is really good because it's white. It's associated with your crown chakra. So, yeah, you know, good for when you're trying to receive messages and all that kind of thing. If you're, you know, so inclined, that kind of thing, you know. Okay, so move this guy out of the way, and this guy, no, stay. Okay, pile number 1, the Howlite. So you have, okay, you have the 10 of Wands. I feel like that card has been coming out quite a bit recently. You have the 10 of Wands, the 10 of Swords. Oh my god. Intense. Intense pile. So immediately there's some kind of ending coming here. But it's a good ending because with the 10 of Wands, this is something that's been very heavy for you. The 10 of Wands can actually specifically talk about being overworked or having too many burdens, like too many responsibilities, you know. Whether that's at work or in the house, or you try and do too much and you're, you know, trying to please everyone. And I like this card because it has the Ace of Wands right in it. So I feel like the reason that this is ending is because of a change in your mindset, like you're seeing things differently. And you have the 5 of Wands, 5 of Candles. Okay, interesting pile number 1. So the 5 of Wands, I feel like it's like you know you need to release this burden, but you're resisting it for some reason with the 5 of Wands. Let me see the other cards here. Okay, you have the Ace of Swords with the 10 of Wands. So there's definitely going to be a breakthrough in terms of this burden that you're carrying. So like I said, you know, if that's like overwork or a really hectic schedule, or you just feel like you're the one that has to do everything and you've got a lot on your plate, there's going to be a change in that. And I feel, see, again, the Ace of Swords is to do with a change in mindset. You know, so this could be, you finally get to a place and you're like, oh my God, like why do I do this all the time? Like why do I try and please everyone and I work myself into the ground? Like I need to change my schedule, or you know, I need to fix this. Oh my God, you have the 5 of Wands again. If I can get it to focus. See, that's the 5 of Wands, the same one there. And you have Judgment here as well. Okay, so pile number 1, let me focus the camera. Right, I feel like, because you have the 5 of Wands twice, and you can see here it's like a bunch of women standing around arguing, okay? I always associate that with kind of judgmental people, or people that are kind of having a go at you, like fighting and things. I feel like this is a pile for people that, like, you work yourself into the ground because you're afraid of judgment. Because you have the 5 of Wands again with Judgment here, and I feel like it's literally, that's a literal meaning. At least in one way of that Judgment card. It's like, you know, you may have grown up in an environment where you were like, excuse me, you were always expected to kind of work yourself into the ground, or you were selfish, or, you know, you just came from that kind of environment where, or it could even have been like a marriage, or, you know, something like this, or a work environment where you're expected to basically work yourself into the ground, or you're selfish. And I feel like this is the mindset that you're changing. You're kind of like, wait a minute, what's going, like, why am I doing this? Because the thing is, with this type of 5 of Wands energy, it's toxic, it can be narcissistic. That's the type of energy, like these people would not be satisfied no matter what you did. So if you have grown up in a type of family like that, I feel like you're kind of learning to let it go, because you're going to realize, like, well, it doesn't matter what I do, like they would never have been happy. And it's the same at work, you know. For example, like if you're currently doing a job where, you know, you're working yourself into the ground, no one ever thanks you. You know, no one ever is like, oh my God, you're doing such a great job. They just give you more work, you know, because you're the one that is willing to do it. So they're like, well, fucking here, have some more, right? And if it's like that type of environment where, you know, you're like Cinderella and you're always running around after everyone else, all that's really going to happen is that if you stop, people complain. They don't really thank you. You know, it's that type of negative, toxic energy where they're never happy anyway. So I feel like with the Judgment card here, you're just going to be like, you know what, we're done with this. Like, I'm not doing that anymore. I want to pull one card on the Judgment card. Hold on a second. Can you give us a card for Judgment? I feel like you're going to see something very quickly because the Tower and the Page of Swords came out. So I feel this may be a sudden revelation for you. Clarify Judgment, please. Yeah, you have the King of Swords here. So this is very much, you're going to be moving into this King of Swords energy where, you know, that it's being more ruthless, basically, in a good way. Because this could be a pile for people that, you know, have been people pleasers in the past. You may have had to have been a parent pleaser, right? That's what they always say. People pleasers start off as parent pleasers. So the King of Swords, I feel this energy that you're moving into, you're gonna be more ruthless. But that's what you need to do. Because it's not okay that you're living your life like this with no time to yourself and putting everyone first. Everyone else first. Do you know what I mean? So I feel you moving into this energy where you're like, okay, well, because I also see him, he's kind of got a list here. So I see you kind of making a list and being like, okay, so I'm going to prioritize like what's, you know, I'm going to make a list of things that I want to get done, and then I'm going to stop for the day. And if it's not done, then it's not done, right? It's like making a schedule for yourself and being like, okay, well, I'm going to allot myself this time. You know, it's this type of thing, like being more ruthless, like saying no to people when you need to, you know, making sure that you have time to rest and you're not constantly overworking yourself. Or if this is like a boss, you know, starting to sort of be like, well, no, I'm not going to do all that. Like, I already have this stuff to do. Like, you're going to have to give it to someone else, you know? Because they do that. Like, your boss will do that if they think, like, you're the hard worker. Like, oh, I'll just give it to them. Like, they'll just do it, you know? So I feel that's your message, pile one. And you know what, with the Howlite, I feel like you're probably getting a lot of messages about this already, you know? Spirit's like, you need to stop working yourself into the ground. Because you can't go on like that forever as well, you know? Burnout is a thing. So I hope that was a useful message. Spirit coming through to nag you, pile one. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, I wish you many blessings, love and light. Take care. Pile 2, you guys were the orange citrine. Okay, so, oh, you have the Ace of Swords, okay, or the Ace of Lightning. You have the Seven of Wands. And you have the Strength card. Okay. She looks super grumpy in that card. Little Thoribert. Oh, let's see what else you've got here. You have the Star. Okay, so there's something to do with like a breakthrough in your healing, I want to say, with the Ace of Swords and the Star. It's like a mindset. You're going to be seeing something more. It's like a breakthrough in your mindset in some way. Let me see what else you've got. You've got the Eight of Cups here. Okay. This might be a little triggering, okay, but only take it if it resonates. So the Seven of Wands can be like being a little defensive, okay? Feeling like you need to defend yourself. And the Eight of Cups can be abandonment issues. I'm sorry, I know that's kind of triggering, but that's what's come out in the cards here. I feel like there's some breakthrough in your healing, pile number 2. And you know, with the sacral chakra, this is often refers to like repressed, sorry, I'm talking about the crystal now. It's a sacral chakra crystal, which is often, you know, when you start working on that chakra, like repressed feelings come out. So you may have been recently dealing with like abandonment issues or something like that. That might have been something that shows up in your relationships a lot. Because you may have, see, abandonment issues doesn't just come from someone leaving or an absent caregiver. It can also come from having caregivers that are emotionally unavailable. But I feel like there's been some kind of defensiveness with you about letting people in or letting relationships in because of an abandonment issue. Now that could be something from childhood, or it could be that someone left you in the past, okay? But I also feel with the 7, excuse me, the 7 of Wands, like with the 8 of Cups and the 7 of Wands, you're walking away from that now. Because I feel here, yeah. So clarifying the Strength card, you have the World, okay? So, yeah, you can see here in the Strength card, like she's very grumpy, right? She's kind of making herself bigger. You know, she's trying to take up space. And I feel this is something you had to do in the past. You know, I feel that this is a pile for people that have always had to be very strong because of something to do with your background. But that's coming to an end now. Spirit wants you to know that. This phase of your life where you always had to be really strong and maybe kind of repress your feelings because there wasn't time, or you weren't in a safe space to deal with them, maybe you've always been in survival mode, that's coming to an end. So that's what your healing is, pile number 2. I want to get a card on, I know I just can't ever stop myself. I want to clarify the 7 of Wands. Clarify the 7 of Wands, please. Like, give me another card for the 7 of Wands. Page of Wands. Yeah, this is a new mindset. Okay, the Page of Wands is about seeing things in a different way. I always kind of see the Page of Wands as like, it's almost like being brought back to life. You know, if you've, like, for example, if you've had to spend your whole life or a long time, you know, in this kind of survival mode where you felt like you had to defend yourself and always be really strong, and like, you know, because like I said, in that Strength card, she's making, like, you know, she's a little kid, but she's having to make herself look bigger. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, I feel like this is a pile for people that are very emotional, you know, with the, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. There's nothing wrong with being emotional, like sensitive. I feel like you're someone, you know, with the orange citrine, the sacral chakra crystal, you feel things very deeply. You're probably very intuitive. You're probably very psychic, to be honest. But I feel you've had to repress it because of stuff from your past, maybe even childhood, because she is a child. You know, maybe you just always had like a lot of very strong personalities or something like that around, or you had like emotionally unavailable caregivers or something. There's something like that that's coming to an end now. You're moving into this period of your life where it's like, okay, I can feel my emotions. I'm allowed to be like vulnerable. I'm allowed to be soft. It's like the true self is coming out now, you know? And it's this new perspective where you're not going to feel like you have to be so defensive, you know, like with people, because maybe that was always what happened for you. Like people always came for you, even with, you know, that could even be your family. But definitely the Page of Wands is a new mindset, okay? Can we have one more? Yeah, wow. You have the 10 of Wands. I just feel like things have been very hard for you. And the Five of Wands is here again. I just feel like things have been very hard for you, pile number 2. And this could be with your family. You know, with the Five of Wands here, you may have had a very toxic family. You don't have to have had that, okay? I'm just putting it out there for some of you. Could have been a toxic family or some kind of could even be a toxic work environment, you know? But I feel there was a level of chaos, toxicity, like bitching, arguing, very strong personalities, strong, dominant, like, yeah, like nasty, toxic personalities. And because of that, you had to make yourself, it was almost like like she's had to make herself bigger to be stronger so people wouldn't like fuck with her. Even that could even be your family. But the Ten of Wands here, I feel this is a burden that you're now ready to release. Okay? So that's your message, pile 2. Well, sorry if that triggered you with your coffee, but I have to say them when they come out. I have to. So, you know, I hope it was useful. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I wish you many blessings, love and light. Take care. And pile number 3, you guys were the Pyrite. Okay. So I'm going to start off with your Hocus Pocus. You have the Queen of Swords. If I can get her to focus. That is literally like the best representation of the Queen of Swords. It's just perfect because she looks so pissed off. Like, it's someone who's been through a lot. You know, they're kind of not jaded. I mean, this is who it's representing in the card. You know, this is someone like, okay, I'm not up for your shit. I've been through a lot of shit. I'm married to an idiot. Because, you know, in the film, she's married to an idiot. And she is a little jaded, you know. But I'm not saying that you're jaded, okay? I don't even know who that is yet. But that's just such a good representation of the Queen of Swords. Like, you know, smart and like not down for your bullshit, basically. So you have the Queen of Swords. Wow. The Nine of Wands. Okay. So you've been, I feel like this is you. Okay, and I'm not saying you're jaded, okay? That's just why I think the card is so funny, because I just think it's a good representation of the Queen of Swords. But what I will say is that you've certainly been through a lot of shit with the Nine of Wands, because this is the wounded warrior. This is someone that's been through a lot. You know, you may have been betrayed a lot. Excuse me. You may have had a lot of people try to silence you as well. But definitely the Nine of Wands, you've been through a lot of shit. You may have been betrayed a lot. You may have had a lot of people coming for you. You may have had a lot of people turn against you. This could have even been your own family if you've come here from pile 2. And with the Queen of Swords, you know, she's been through a lot. The Queen of Swords is someone, male or female, that's been through a lot. They have a lot of, you know, quote unquote life experience. They can be a little defensive because they've learned that they had to defend themselves, or they felt like they had to because they've been betrayed so many times. You know what I mean? And you also have Justice. See, again, I feel like there's another meaning to this card, but you see, again, here, it's like people coming for you. I feel like this is a pile. I feel like you've had a lot of people come for you. You know? Like, you may inadvertently as well. You know, this is a solar plexus crystal, solar plexus chakra crystal. So you may be someone who inadvertently gets a lot of attention, even though you don't want it. But you may find that because of that, a lot of people sort of come for you. You may be very triggering to people. You know, just because of who you are, because I feel like with the solar plexus crystal and the pyrite the crystal, it's like you shine quite bright. So there may be like jealousy around you, and you know, if you are someone, there's some people like empaths, for example, just tend to naturally trigger people because they reflect, you know, their own self back to them and all this kind of stuff. But you know, there's some people who, you know, they just don't want to see you shine or whatever it is, okay? I feel like that's been a theme for you. Okay, oh my god. So with the Queen of Swords, you have the Seven of Swords. So many swords. Okay, pile number 3. You've been through a lot of shit. Like, I'm just looking at her face as well. Like, can you see? She's just like, oh my god, I'm so over this shit. You know, because the thing is with the Seven of Swords, let me just, I shouldn't have picked it up. Now I'll never get it back. God damn it. There we go. So the Seven of Swords is like very, very major karmic lessons. I feel like you've been through a lot of very major karmic lessons in your life, okay? You could even be someone that's, you know what I feel though? Your lessons are basically done. I mean, we never stop learning, but I feel like you had a lot of your major karmic lessons and karmic relationships kind of early on. For some of you, this could even have been your mum, all right? You know, with the Queen of Swords, that could represent your mum for some of you, as well as you, okay? And I'm not comparing you to your mum, okay? That's just something that came through. Like for some of you that picked this pile, your mother may have been a major karmic lesson for you. Like she may have been kind of critical or withholding of love or kind of narcissistic or something. That's not going to be for everyone, okay? But you have been through a lot of major karmic lessons. I feel like, you know, if that mum thing resonates with you, it could have been that you didn't see it for a long time. Okay. But I feel like even, you know, even if it's not the mother wound for you, I feel like this is a pile for people that have dealt with a lot of narcissists, and it's because you shine. That's why. Like, you don't even want this attention, but you get it anyway. Yay, lucky you, pile number 3. Okay, so with this, the 9 of Wands, you have the 6 of Wands. So you have definitely been through a lot, but what Spirit wants you to know is like the major karmic lessons are now done and you have survived, pile number 3. And not only have you survived, but you have done it with grace and you've done it very, very successfully with the 6 of Wands. Very successfully. You're still very warm, you're still very personable, you know, you're well liked. This is a victory. You've reached a huge milestone in your life, is what Spirit wants you to know, okay? And basically, now is the time for you to be celebrated, is what I feel is going to happen here. You're moving into, it's like because you've learned all your lessons, now comes the reward, basically. With the Justice card, it's like now you're receiving your justice, you know? See, the thing is, I feel like those of you that chose this pile, I feel like you have some kind of leadership role in the future. Because the 6 of Wands is someone that's kind of more prominent. You know, it's someone who's kind of worked their way up. And they are more, like, they're more of a leader kind of energy. They're more like in the spotlight, or like I said, they're more prominent. But the thing is, you're well liked. People are going to be, they're going to like you being in this leadership position. And I feel for some of you, it's like, well, not for some of you, but for those of you that resonate with the leadership thing, you may already feel that's coming in your future, but it's almost like you were being toughened up. And I know that's like a crazy thing to say, but with the 9 of Wands, there's been a lot of betrayal, like a lot of people coming for you. And I almost feel now that you're just like, whatever, you know, like you don't care who comes for you. You don't care what people say. Because I feel here, you see, you have the 5 of Wands again. Some of you may have come from a chaotic background, or you may have dealt with a lot, like a toxic family, or a lot of toxic friends, or something like bitchy, like nasty, like put you down kind of people in your life. And with the Six of Wands, it's almost like water off a duck's back now. You know, because I feel like you're destined to be in the spotlight in some way. So you had to be toughened up so that, you know, if people do come for you now, you're like, you know what, I don't really give a shit. Because it's like, you know, it's not really about you anyway, it's about them. You know, because with the Six of Wands, it's like, well, I like myself. You know, because with the solar plexus crystal here, it's like, I feel like you've done a lot of work on your self-confidence. You've worked a lot, or you're about to work a lot on your solar plexus chakra, which honestly, the more that you work on that chakra, the less of a shit you give about what people say. It's like water off a duck's back. You know, and I feel like that's the phase that you're moving into, or that you're into now. Look, so your Justice here, you have the Ten of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Okay, so basically this is your good karma coming in now. Is happiness here. For those of you looking for a relationship with the Ten of Cups, there's a very happy, very emotionally fulfilling relationship coming in for you. If you want to get married, I feel that's here. If you want children, that's here. See, with the Queen of Cups though, I feel like you had to learn boundaries. You know, that's literally what the Queen of Cups is. Someone very sweet, you know, male or female, very sweet, very loving, very compassionate, probably very psychic, because they're usually all linked. You know, being very sensitive and being very psychic is usually linked. But she has, he or she usually starts off with pretty shit boundaries. So you know, I feel that's something you've been working on. You know, it's like now you're kind of okay with being more in the spotlight because you're able to sort of assert your boundaries. You know what I mean? Like, you can spot a toxic relationship or a toxic person a mile away and you're like, no thank you. You know, you're able to say no, you're able to sort of push back when you need to, but you're still really sweet and soft. And also the thing is with the Queen of Cups, because she's healed, she now attracts healthy relationships. So I feel like that's what's coming in for you now, you know? And if you're not looking for love, this will be friendships, okay? But, you know, certainly for those of you looking for love, it's because you've done so much work on yourself that you're now able to attract healthy relationships, because you may have spent your whole life attracting narcissists, because some of you definitely had like a narcissist mum or a gran or an aunt or a sister or something like that, okay? Yeah, so that's your message, pile 3. I hope it was useful. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I wish you many blessings. Love and light. Take care.